Well, welcome to the Christy Jones Show, where it's all about living your life to the fullest. I'm a life coach, speaker, and business owner in multifamily real estate, and I've had wild success in multifamily housing for over 25 years now. I am so passionate about helping others merge their success and lead a fulfilling life, and I bring it all together right here on this podcast. So join me and let's get started to live your life to the fullest. Hey, my friend, welcome back to another episode of the Christy Jones Show. So glad you're here hanging out with me today. I've got something a little different in store for you today. I want to take you on the inside of my group coaching program, the Flourishing Edge Inner Circle. I'm going to share a session with you that I did earlier in the year, and it's specifically talking about how to navigate and really master transitional seasons of your life with success. So I'm going to share 4 things that you want to do and implement in your life if you want to be able to move through transitional moments, feeling your best, getting the results that you want. So stay tuned in because I'm going to go into those 4 things. And when I was coaching this group, I was specifically in this group, I had everything from empty nesters to some individuals that had just graduated or getting ready to graduate from college and really stepping into a brand new season of their life. So what I'm going to give you today is really not so much what transition you're going through, whether that's about to step into a new career, you're just out of college, or if you're empty nesting and you're kind of closing a chapter of really active parenting. Regardless of what that transition is, these 4 things are going to help you move through that transition with major success. So thanks for tuning in. Also, if you want to take part in my group coaching, the Flourishing Edge Inner Circle, there'll be a link down in the show notes and you'll be able to join today. All right, my friend, so glad you're here, and share, like the episode. Would love to hear your feedback. In this video today, I want to talk about how to reconnect with yourself. I've chosen this topic because right now I'm watching so many people around me that I know personally and professionally go through watching their children graduate from high school or from college, or having a loved one make a major transition in their life. And they're really at that crossroads where you go from operating in one way in your life for a prolonged period of time to now things are really shifting in another direction. So I would like to talk about how to reconnect with yourself. And again, I feel like this is something that each and every one of us have had to kind of cross that bridge at some point. And so it's the season of graduation. It's the season of a lot of change. And so I would like to offer you some steps of what to do to how to reconnect with yourself. If you find yourself in that spot of going through a lot of these changes, having a child graduate from high school, having an adult child graduate from college, and then move on to what's next. So those are also, or if you yourself are that person that is leaving high school to go to what's next, or leaving college to go to what's next. Even this could be helpful steps on how to reconnect with yourself if you're going through a big change, as in possibly going through a divorce or stepping through another big change, something similar to that. So here's step number 1. Allow yourself to be exactly where you are. And what I mean by that is when we spend too much time and energy trying to get away from what's really happening, it's exhausting, and we honestly prolong the inevitable. So the sooner you can just relax and accept yourself and accept your situation and allow yourself to just be exactly where you are. Just instead of, it's like swimming upstream. When you try to swim upstream all the time, it's exhausting and you're getting nowhere. So learn to just relax, accept where you are. And that's step number 1, is just relax into it. Accept things as they are right now. Step number two,
I want you to process all of the emotions that you're feeling. It's okay to not even know how you feel, or you feel so many different emotions at once. It's like, it's overwhelming. Allow yourself some time and space to process that. Don't just push them away. Some suggestions that I'd like to offer are write it down, write it out, just free write. You've heard me talk about free writing so much in the last 6 months. So write it out. Another option is to talk it out. Sometimes do you ever talk to yourself? You're just talking out loud. I do that. I'm processing, I'm troubleshooting. Talk it out. If you have someone that you trust that you can confide in, talk it out with them. But writing it out, talk it out. And another tip I like to suggest is to walk and talk it out. So when we move our bodies and we're in movement, so going for a walk is a really easy thing for most of us to do. When we get our body moving, we can process our emotions concurrently. And there is just something really magical that happens to when you're exercising or moving, and your mind is able to just kind of relax a little bit. And have you ever noticed if you've been out on a walk and all of a sudden you just start getting these ideas, like you're like, oh, that's a great idea. Ooh, there's another great idea. So there's a connection between moving our body, walking, whatever, nothing too exerting when you're trying to brainstorm and troubleshoot and kind of process feelings. So go for a walk. I call it walk and talk. And maybe you want to walk and talk with a friend, but write it out, talk it out, and walk it out. Step number three, how to reconnect with yourself. Number three, take time to dream and time to brainstorm. Give yourself time to dream and brainstorm. This is a really important step. Here are some specific things. Write these down. These are specific things that I want you to dream and I want you to brainstorm about, especially if you are that woman going through and getting ready to step into a really big change in your life, such as you have a child that is moving out, graduating high school and moving on. Or you are that college student that has just received your diploma, just graduated from college, and now you've got so many options ahead of you, but maybe you feel a little overwhelmed about it. You're scared, you're confused, you're not really sure exactly what you want to do. So anytime you're stepping into a major transition, give yourself time to dream and time to brainstorm. So here are some things to write down. Ask yourself, where would you live? And I'm trying to get you to think forward in your life. Think forward because we talk a lot about building the life that you desire. And while everything instantaneously may not happen right this very minute, it's really important that you take the time to ask yourself these questions. So as you're moving forward in your life, you're making decisions that fall in line and are in alignment with the life that you're wanting to build. So that's why I'm asking you to take time to dream and time to brainstorm. So ideally, where would you like to live? I mean, I know maybe you've lived in the same place your whole life, but 10 years from now, 20 years from now, where would you like to end up? Where do you want to live? Where do you want to experience life? Another question to dream and brainstorm about, write this down, is what would you prefer to do for work? If you could do anything, make sure you're asking yourself, what do I prefer to do? What do I see myself doing? What do I enjoy? And I don't care if if you're graduating from college and you're like, well, this is my major and this is what I thought I wanted to do. That's great. But put that to the side for a second and ask yourself, what is it that I really want to do? What do I enjoy? What are my hobbies? What are my interests? So ask yourself that question. What does an ideal work day? No, in fact, let's just broaden that a little bit. What does an ideal work week look like for me? What do I envision in an ideal work week shaping up to be? What's that look like for me? Dream and brainstorm on that. And then lastly, two more things actually. How would you like to spend your days? And I want you to forward think in your life a little bit. Okay. So this is about dreaming and this is about brainstorming. So how would you like to spend your days? If you are getting ready to be an empty nester and your child is about to move on to, I mean, you just sat through graduation ceremony, you just bawled your eyes out, like I did so many years ago. And you've watched, your child go through these years of school and make this accomplishment, and now they're ready to move on with their life. So now you're facing the empty nest phase. Have you asked yourself, how would you like to spend your days? You need to be asking yourself that. And if you're not an empty nester on here and you're like, I'm not going to worry about that. I got bigger things to be thinking about right now. It might be the case. However, the more proactive you can be on preparing for that season of your life, it's going to make going through that transition so much easier. So how would you spend your days? Ideally, dream about it, write it down. And then what would bring you peace and joy? What would bring you peace and joy as you move forward? And I'm really talking hard to you if you are stepping into a big transition moment, such as empty nesting, such as I just graduated from college. What would you do to bring you peace and joy? What brings you fulfillment? So dream about it, brainstorm about it. Step number 4, and the last step on how to reconnect with yourself. I want you to commit to spending 10 minutes a day. Can you commit to 10 minutes? I know you can commit to 10 minutes a day. And I want you to sit and envision and really get a mental picture and envision your ideal life. If you were to build your ideal life, if you could put the pieces of the puzzle together, I want you to envision that. I want you to sit in that thought and in that feeling and commit to doing that 10 minutes every day. If you do those steps, that's going to bring clarity to where you're going, clarity to where you're at. It's going to help you reconnect with yourself. And it's going to help you get through that transitional time with success. So leave your comments below. If you have anything to add or a question, you know how to reach me through email. And I look forward to hearing your comments on today's video. I want to thank you for tuning in today to the podcast, and I hope you've enjoyed the conversation and all the info that's been shared today. And I hope you've come away with a few ideas on how to make the most out of it for your life. If you loved this episode, be sure to share it with your friends and family, and also make sure you subscribe to the podcast and tap that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Also, it would mean the absolute world to me if you would leave a podcast review. So until next time, my friend, keep flourishing and thriving and live your life to the